Dong guest. Welcome to Asian at Home. And today I'm going to show you how to make hot and sour soup. It's a perfect description of myself, hot and sour. Jacob will agree with that. Totally. So anyways, thank you so much for requesting this recipe because so many of you guys wanted to know this recipe. Enjoying this perfectly cool or cold weather and just cozy up with this Chinese style of hot and sour bowl of soup at home. So let's get started. First thing what you need to do is soak your dried mushroom in warm water. I'm using shiitake mushrooms and this is a black fungus mushrooms. This is a Chinese style mushrooms. I purchased the black fungus already shredded, so all I have to do was just soaking in warm water about 15 to 20 minutes with the dried shiitake mushrooms. They will give this beautiful meaty texture and the flavor to the soup, so must item. Wash and drain the mushrooms and go ahead and slice the shiitake mushrooms into thin strips. They are going to give this amazing texture and flavor to the soup, so must item, okay? So I'm gonna set aside right here, and the next thing I'm gonna do is marinate very little pieces of pork. I'm using pork loin because I like to use lean pork for my soup, and we are going to marinate the pork loin very little bit. You can actually skip this part, but doing it kind of makes me feel a little better about, I think this pork has a little more flavor, you know what I mean? So anyways, in here, let's marinate with a half teaspoon of soy sauce and half teaspoon of rice wine. You can skip the rice wine or just use a half teaspoon of water instead. And little small pinch of white pepper and about half teaspoon of cornstarch, and just mix everything together. The cornstarch actually will keep this pork texture really silky and nice and smooth, and also pork pieces very moist. Alright, let's set aside right here and let's prep our vegetables. The first thing what we need to do is grate some ginger. I'm going to grate about a teaspoon using my cheese grater. The spiciness and the fragrance from the ginger just works amazing in this soup. I think I grated more than I needed it, but it's okay. Alright, now I'm going to julienne my carrots. You will need about 2 ounces of carrots, sliced thinly, and then julienne into long strips. Now, same amount of bamboo shoots. The next one is tofu. Today, I'm using a silken tofu because I love silken tofu in my soup instead of firm tofu, especially Chinese style soup. I'm just cutting off this like outer skin because it really makes me hard to cut off. Slice tofu in lengthwise, about 1/4 inch thick. Not too thin, not too thick, just enough, you know. And just flip them over like so, carefully. And then cut into the other side. So you need to be really gentle and careful handling this because obviously tofu is already easy to break and silken tofu is even more easier to break. And if you don't want to dealing with this delicate part, you can definitely just go ahead and use a firm tofu as I said. So anyways, let's move on to the next step. I won't say like a sauce, but I'm gonna mix all the soy sauce and the vinegar and the other seasoning that we are going to dump into the soup in a one bowl. So that way, seasoning will incorporate and mix well with the soup a lot quicker and faster, and I prepare that way. So in a large mixing bowl, let's add 1/4 cup of soy sauce. I'm using regular soy sauce, but you can use light soy sauce as well. And the same amount of white vinegar. If you have a Chinese black vinegar, please go ahead and use that, but I don't have it in my kitchen today, so I'm just gonna use white vinegar. It works perfectly as well. 1/4 teaspoon of dark soy sauce. So this will give really this depth color into the soup that is like a restaurant. 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of white pepper or black pepper, you prepare that way. This white pepper is where the hot flavor coming from the hot and sour soup. If you prefer the real hot and spicy for this soup, go ahead and use it like the chili paste. 3 tablespoons of cornstarch and 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. I know this is like a really small amount compared to the size of the soup, but trust me that this little bit of sugar will hold everything together and combine everything together and totally make sense of this flavor of vinegar, soy sauce, and mushrooms and all. You know what I mean? So whisk the sauce until sugar and the cornstarch has dissolved all the way. All right, it looks good. Okay, last step, crack some eggs. And beat the egg like you mean it. Yes! All the ingredients are prepped. All we need to do is just put them all together in a pot. In a large pot, bring 5 cups of chicken stock to boil. When it starts boiling, add grated ginger, mushrooms, carrot, bamboo shoot, and the pork. Stir all together and make sure the pork pieces are not clumped as a one big chunk. Bring back to boil, and this time we are going to add the soy sauce and vinegar mixture. And make sure you stir the mixture before you pour because cornstarch probably already sunk on the bottom, and we want all the cornstarch to thicken this soup. While you're pouring the soy sauce and vinegar mixture, keep stirring the soup. Otherwise, the soup might clump up and you don't want that. Bring back the soup to boil once again, and this time we are going to pour the beaten eggs. Pour the egg with circle motion and trying to let the eggs not touch each other as much as possible. Count 5 seconds and stir gently. Lastly, but not least, let's add the silken tofu. If you are using firm tofu, you could add with other vegetables earlier, but because I'm using silken tofu right now, I need to be really super gentle and careful not to break this tofu. Stir the tofu into the soup super duper gently, and this is it, guys. We are done making hot and sour soup. Oh my god. The soup smells so delicious. My hot and sour soup. Oh yes. So I'm gonna top up some chopped green onions and some cilantro. Last finale. You cannot skip this part, okay? Drizzle sesame oil right on top. Never too much sesame oil in my book. All right, my hot and sour soup is done, guys. Oh, the moment of the truth. Wow. I think this might be perfect like potluck food. Just putting our chopped green onion, cilantro, and the sesame oil separately. Give them little entertainment by putting on top, drizzle sesame oil. Oh, it's this side. I made it. I got the recipe from Asian at Home from Sangkyung Longest. Go check her out on YouTube. Sharing is caring, guys. If you liked my hot and sour soup, please give me a thumbs up. And subscribe my channel for more inspirations and idea of Asian home cooking. Thank you so much for watching me today. And remember, you can always cook Asian food at your house, making it easy and fun. I'm Sangkyung Longest, and this is Asian at Home. And I will see you next time. Bye!